Have you ever had somebody do something wrong to you, maybe say something or do something, and then they came to you and made an apology, and now the ball is in your court to choose to decide to forgive them or not? Hi, my name is K.A. Bloch, and I am the award winning poet and author of 4 books that consist of poetry and prose. My channel is called The Practical Poet, and each week on my channel, I feature a different video poetry reading from one of my 4 books, or maybe even some new material. And the poem that I'm talking about this week is from my 3rd book called Gather Seeds of Hope. And this is a poem called Forgiveness. And this poem actually piggybacks off of another poem called Humble Pie. And that Humble Pie is from my 2nd book, Scatter Seeds of Kindness. And in a previous video poetry reading that I will link below, I did a video poetry reading on Humble Pie. And Humble Pie was written from the perspective of the person who did the wrong thing. They said something bad or they did something bad, and they had to go to the person and make some amends and apologies. They had to eat a little bit of humble pie. Well, in forgiveness, it's from the perspective of the person who was wronged. And now they have to make the decision to forgive this person and move on, or forgive them but maybe discontinue the relationship, or they have to make that decision. And when you move through the steps of forgiveness, it's a lot like moving through the steps of grief. If you're familiar with Elizabeth Kubler-Ross's stages of grieving, and there's a lot of the same steps in there: the anger, the denial, the different steps that you have to kind of move through. And sometimes you find yourself backsliding. Like, you might think that you're ready to forgive the person and you're ready to move on, and then you backslide and you're back into the anger stage or the denial stage. Like, I can't believe they did this or said that to me. And so it really is a process. But when you get right down to it, forgiveness is really about letting yourself off the hook. So we always think, if I forgive this person for what they did, it's like I'm condoning their behavior, or it's like I'm accepting what they did, or I'm kind of letting them off the hook. But the reality is, you're letting yourself off the hook, because it doesn't do you any good to hold on to that anger, hold on to that negativity, kind of hold on to a grudge and let it ruminate. Negativity begets negativity. So the more that you hold on to, the more negative things and negative thoughts that you're going to have swirling through your mind. So it's really good to forgive when we can. Even if we choose not to continue a relationship with a person, at least we can forgive them, move on. Doesn't mean we forget, but I hope that if you're interested in hearing about this poem, I hope that you will check out my channel at The Practical Poet for the full-length video poetry reading of Forgiveness. I also have a blog at thepracticalpoet.com, and on my blog you can find the written copies to both Humble Pie and Forgiveness, along with the backstory. Thanks so much. Bye.